Hello, I am roaringbug, and welcome to my Sims 4 speed build. Today I am doing a build called Base Game Corner House, and like the title, this house is completely base game. And it is on a lot that has a corner. So I take full advantage of this corner to kind of position the house a little bit on an angle for the entranceway by cutting the corner edge off. So right now what you're seeing is just me doing the roofing of this porch, and the easiest way to do a porch is just to make a room and then use that fancy trim for the top part, and I don't know the name of it, but you can put pillars on it and it'll do the little fancy trims around the pillar. And right now I'm doing a technique where I am putting a platform on the roof so I can get an edge on the roof, because when you overlap roof pieces, they kind of have a glitch when they touch, and it leaves like a weird gap in the roof, and I try to avoid it now by putting a one level up platform on the roofing. And I did a simple roof. I just used that triangular roof piece to make that cross, I don't know, roof look. And I put this little tower here just so that it would have some point of interest. Excuse the pun. And in order to make the build look a little bit more interesting, I put like a one tile bump out just so that it could match the edging of the roof. So as you can see, I just raised the building one platform because your Sims can walk without stairs over just one platform. And I thought that would help define the deck around the porch around this house. And the bottom part of the house is brick, and the top part of the house is this white siding, which I thought was a nice contrast, because if I made it all brick or all like wood siding, I thought it would look kind of boring. So I kind of like the two-tone look of the build. And now I'm just getting rid of those extra walls because I just put them there just so I could make those bump outs. The way to get rid of walls is you go over it again, but you hold the control key and it'll delete the wall without using the little hammer tool. And I wrapped the porch a little bit around the back, as you can see right now, just because it fit pretty well, because I made that little bump out and I thought it looked a little bit more complete. And I put the front door in on that corner, and I put a sliding door into the backyard. And I put the stairs right next to that wall with that window, just to let you know you're going to need to do bb.move objects in order to download this house, because normally you wouldn't be able to place a stair next to a window because the game will tell you it's an intersecting item. But if you got move objects on, you can move it right next to the window. And this house is on a small lot. It's in Newcrest, which is the empty world that comes with the base game. And I think it's in the smallest lot. I think it's like the 20 by 15 lot or the 20 by 20 lot. It's that empty lot like way on the top of Newcrest. So right now I'm just putting down a bunch of lights just so I can see what I'm doing, because now I'm working on the interior. So I am on the second floor, which is going to be bedrooms, and I usually use a bed so I can gauge space, because I generally do not know what kind of spacing I'm working with unless I have like a bed as a frame of reference. Also, if you want to use a double bed, you need like at least a half tile on either side in order to make it functional on both sides. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here, and I realized that I wanted a bathroom on the second floor, so that smaller room by the stairs is going to be a bathroom. So each floor has a bathroom, which I think is realistic and pretty good. So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So now I'm just doing this wooden flooring, and sometimes windows don't really match out with your floor plan. So sometimes I usually move my windows around. I tend to put down windows anyway, just because I like to see what the house looks like and adjust accordingly. Some people like to leave putting down the windows last and do the floor plan first, because sometimes the walls may not be exactly in the right position for the windows inside the house. So moving on, I am doing a kitchen. So I was kind of happy with this kitchen. That weird little 1 square bump out, as you're seeing right now, I'm turning it into a dining island. And I just put them around that little pillar there. And I thought that looked pretty cool. I was like, yes, that looks like a cozy little spot to have a little dining nook. And I didn't do too much furnishing. I'm not the type of builder who likes to use too much clutter. Also, I don't strictly just do building. I do gameplay as well. And anyone who's played the game knows that too much clutter will actually interfere with how your Sims can move around. And if you're playing like from rags to riches, you know that every item accumulates to the cost of your lot. So I generally don't keep anything I don't necessarily need. I might do some decoration if it is part of the storyline that I'm working with. But most of the time I don't really like having too many pretty things. I don't normally do that until like my sim has like a good amount of money, and then I will, let them have the luxury of having decorations in their house. So this room, I guess if you don't like it as a skill building room, you could turn it into a dining room, like a formal dining room. But I wanted to have a skill building room in this house, at least for a computer, because it's essential for gameplay in The Sims. Especially like if you're playing, they're gonna need like something in order to help their career, or if you want them to have like a freelancer job, you're gonna need some like gameplay items. I shrunk down this rug, and that's like a key command on the keyboard. I think it's Control and the bracket key, so you can size things up and down. And there's also like commands in order to raise items up and down. That's how I raised the TV and sized it up over the fireplace, because there is no slot for you to add items over that fireplace unless it's like a decorative item. So right now I'm just adding in some rugs, and like I said, I don't do too much furnishing. I just do kind of the bare minimum when it comes to furnishing. And I didn't have all the packs because, like I said, I kept this house strictly base game. So now I am on the second floor and I'm furnishing the bedrooms. So this double bed I would assume would be the primary bedroom, because it's the only room that can fit a double bed. Possibly the leaf room. Maybe you could fit a double bed in there. But I just put 2 rooms, like 2 beds in there, and the smallest room is going to be a toddler's bedroom. I do not like any of the base game beds. They all look kind of weird. It's the color swatches that are kind of weird, so I just went with a really traditional bed because I feel like that is the nicest looking one. So the bedroom that I like the most in this house is actually the checkered bedroom with the black bed with the red pillow, because I assume, like, if you played in it in this storyline, like, I imagine that an older teenager lives in that bedroom, and like maybe like 2 younger siblings and a toddler, or even like a cool old like uncle or aunt that's younger lives in that bedroom. I mean, it really depends on what you want to do for the gameplay. But I kind of thought, like, hey, this person should be, a little bit more edgy or a little bit more goth. And I feel like I furnish my toddler rooms the same all the time. I just gave them a couple of, like, the items they just essentially need. And that chimney space, I don't know if you saw it, but I just raised the foundation on it just a little bit because it looks really weird when the walls drop away completely, especially since I put like a lamp there, a wall lamp. But I didn't want to raise it all the way up, because when you raise the foundation inside a room for like the chimney, that space, it won't drop away if you do gameplay with half cutaway walls, which is a little annoying because then you just have like this 2x1 chimney room that like is in like your way. And right now I am putting down some artwork because I thought this house looks pretty plain, I should put something on the walls. And that weird little corner at the top of the stairs, I was like, I need to put something there, so I just put a desk there. And in my mind, I imagine like maybe the kids will use that to do their homework, but I've played enough times to know that your Sims will probably ignore that desk, but I wanted to put something there. And I just put some just a few decorative pieces. Like, all that stuff on that counter in that kitchen is completely unnecessary, but it looks more lived in and realistic if there's like a couple of items. So back to the primary bedroom, I put these little closets here, so these like hanging clothes items, just so like it looks like it's like an overstuffed closet space, because I feel like most people do that in their bedroom, especially like if they live in a small space. So now I am outside doing some landscaping. So there's like this tiny little piece of land next to the porch, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna fill that in. And now I'm filling out this backyard with a debug fence. So debug means it's just an item that is part of the decoration around the world, and they have no interaction or gameplay. They're just purely there just to look nice. In fact, your sim will not respect that fence. They'll just walk right through it. So, it's just there to look nice. But the benefit is that it doesn't cost any money in-game. Not that that really matters, because in The Sims you can just give your Sims money if you want them to. So these are debug planters. That's why I'm using the raise up key command, to put it in the right spot. Because I'm like, I don't really want to pay for planters. Because the other pretty planter that I thought about using costs 100 simoleons. And I did not think that was worth it. Especially for, you know, a modest family home just for base game. So yeah, just putting a little bit more flowers, just making the house look a little nicer. And I put this monkey bar and a umbrella outdoor table so you can, you know, your Sims can do some barbecuing and they can eat outside. Though the weird thing about the Sims is that your Sims always like to barbecue, no matter what it's like outside. If you have seasons, like it could be cold out and they'll still go out there to barbecue. So now I'm moving on, just doing some simple like shading, just so that, you know, it looks like this house is part of the world. And I decided to put this extension for the sidewalk leading up to the house, and I thought that looked pretty neat. So this way your Sim can just walk right up to the house in the corner. And I put these debug planters there. So I think the house is more or less done. So if you like this build, you know, I'm going into my screenshots now, so yeah. So my screenshots are from like the top down and then all around. But again, if you like this house, it's on the gallery. You can find it on my gallery ID at roaringbug. And if you like this build, please like, subscribe, or leave me a comment. And thank you for watching.